of renunciation. Many of us feel stuck in the same storming and raging ocean, being unable to navigate ourselves and lost in the overwhelming vastness of the suffering that surrounds us during this pralaya, the great deluge. Our loved ones are dying due to the pandemic. Our homes are being destroyed due to natural disasters. Social institutions are crumbling, and the whole of humanity is in a desperate and dire need of hope. It's at this dualism, the incarnation of the cosmic superconsciousness, out of his love and compassion, having taken this spiritual responsibility for the superconscious breakthrough of the whole of humanity, is manifesting Devi Parashakti, the cosmic mother, and guiding and healing the whole world as literally the boat that sails us through this pralaya, the cosmic deluge. Devi Parashakti is herself manifesting through the Nijavatara and answering each of our prayers, granting boons, healing us, manifesting miracles, removing all our pain and suffering. And Devi has not just attended to us individually, but also as a humanity at large. Devi has guided the whole of humanity in the form of various revelations of profound sacred secrets of Sanatana Hindu Dharma, and by showing us the future regarding global issues, COVID pandemic, natural disasters such as fires, floods, and more, and even the twisted human conspiracies and underground wars, which have not surfaced to common knowledge as yet. In this segment, we will be elaborating on the statistical, scientific, and scriptural references of each sacred revelation, which is manifested precisely as the same guidance emerged from Devi Parashakti, for us to imbibe deeply and start following as Devi Parashakti continues to protect us until the storm ends and we are safely harbored at the shores of our consciousness. Let us see what Devi Parashakti has revealed as the 8 methods to protect ourselves from coronavirus. And Devi revealed this on the 30th of April, 2021. Let us watch that revelation now.
Parashodasi Meenakshi, Parameshwari Meenakshi, Parashakti Meenakshi, இங்கு எழுந்து அருளினோம் எல்லோர்க்கும் ஞானமும் தன்மையும் தந்திட நன்மையெல்லாம் அளித்திட நாமே வந்தோம் இங்கு கைலாசத்தின் சுவாமினியாய் பரமசிவன் கிரகத்திருந்து நம் அனுக்கிரகத்தினால் நித்யானந்தன் விக்கிரகமாய் மலர்ந்தோம். உங்கள் எல்லோருக்கும் நல்லதை செய்திட நன்மையை சொல்லிட தர்மார்த்த காம மோக்ஷம் எனும் புருஷார்த்தங்கள் நாளும் பொங்கி மலர்ந்திட வந்தேன் இங்கு. மாந்தர்கள் கொடுந்தொற்று கொரோனா கண்டு அஞ்ச வேண்டாம். 8 வழியின் மூலமாகவும் எண்ணத்தில் தியானித்து என்னை பிரார்த்தித்தல் 1, சமூக வலைதளங்கள் மூலமாய் என்னை சரணடைதல் 2, எங்கெல்லாம் என் மகமாரி வடிவத்தில் நான் குடிகொண்டிருக்கின்றேனோ அங்கெல்லாம் பூமிதித்து என்னை வழிபடுவது 3, நெஞ்சில் மஞ்சள் தடவி வேப்பம் சாரருந்தி தினந்தோறும் என்னை தியானிப்பது 4, நிர்விகல்ப நிலையிருந்து நித்யானந்தத்தை நிறைத்து உயிர்வது 5 சிவ 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 எனும் பிரபஞ்ச பெரும் நாதத்தை அஜபா ஜபமாய் நிகழ்த்தல் 6 நிறைவான பூரண மனத்தோடு வாழைப்பழத்தோலும் வெங்காயமும் குதிகாலில் வைத்து பத்திட்டு நித்திரையில் அடங்குவது 7 பூரணமாய் பரிபூரண அருணாச்சல ஸ்மரணையில் நினைப்பும் மறப்பும் அருந்த உணர்வு ஸ்மரணையில் அகம் அகம் என ஸ்புரிக்கும் அருணாச்சல ஸ்மரணையில் ஆனந்த ஸ்புரணத்தில் இருப்பது 8 எனும் 8 முறையிலும் என எண்ணியோர் அத்துணை பேருக்கும் இல்லை கொரோனா கொடுந்தொற்றின் தாக்கமும் கொரோனா கொடுந்தொற்றின் பயமும் கொரோனா கொடுந்தொற்றின் மயக்கமும் வாழ்வீர்கள் வளத்தொடு நல் ஞானம் யோகத்தொடு நாமே நிம்மோடு நானே நீயாய் நீயே நானாய் நல்வாழ்வு வாழ்வீர்கள் 8 1 செய்தாலும் கொரோனா உங்களை எட்டவிடாது காப்
Yes, so let us understand Devi Parashakti's revelations mapped into English. Oh, humans, don't be scared of the deadly infection corona. Through these 8 ways, by praying and meditating on me, surrendering to me through social media, wherever I am residing, worshiping me by doing fire walking, applying turmeric in the chest, drinking neem juice, and meditating on me every day, being in the unclutched state, filling with eternal bliss. Doing Ajaba Ajaba of the cosmic sound, Shiva, 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 with complete mind, applying banana peel and onion in the field, and going to sleep, being in the state beyond any remembrance or forgetting in the Arunachala Purana, that blossoms as aham, aham, in the state of Ananda Purana. Everyone who thinks on me through these 8 ways, they will not have effects of corona. They don't have fear and delusion of corona. You will live with prosperity, with wisdom and fortune. Me with you, you as me as you. You will live good life. Even if you do one of these 8 ways, I will protect you. Corona will not reach you. Don't have fear, oh people. Be blissful. So let us look at these 8 methods and understand how each one has its benefits and what is the science behind each of these methods. So the first method is praying and meditating on Devi Parashakti. So science has studied meditation extensively and has revealed many benefits. Healthline lists 12 of these science-based benefits, which includes reducing stress. It controls anxiety. It promotes emotional health. It enhances self-awareness. It lengthens retention span. It may reduce age-related memory loss. It can generate kindness. It may help fight addiction. It improves sleep. It helps control pain. And it can decrease the blood pressure and can be accessible anywhere. And their Department of a study done by the US Department of Health and Human Services has found that meditation has a direct impact on our physical as well as our mental health. And another study by Cambridge University reiterates the necessity of meditation during times of crisis, such as COVID-19. And a study published in Everyday Health has explained how prayer and spirituality protect the emotional health by offering a bigger sense of purpose, by providing social support, by lifting the spirit and helping you cope with difficulties. And a September 2015 report published in Health Psychology found that when researchers followed 191 people with congestive heart failure for 5 years, they found that those who reported feeling spiritual peace and who also made some healthy lifestyle changes were significantly more likely to live longer than their peers. And people with major depressive disorder or chronic medical illnesses who report high levels of religiosity, which includes daily religious experiences, generally become more optimistic than their peers. And this was found in a study published in July 2015 in depression and anxiety. And the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism himself has demonstrated directly the powerfulness of meditation and how it impacts our brains directly. So let us watch that video now.
Nithyananda participates and encourages scientific researchers to derive evidences for meditation and healing through meditation. Dr. R. Murli Krishna, President, COO, Integris Mental Health and James L. Hall Jr., Center for Mind, Body and Spirit, Oklahoma in US, and his team invited Nithyananda to derive scientific evidences for meditation and the state of his enlightenment.
When Swamiji came, I have requested him to do one thing. I asked him, would you be willing to undergo some scientific investigation of the meditation process? He very cheerfully agreed without one complaint. He went for 3 repeat sessions for PET scanning and 3 repeat sessions for quantitative EEG sessions. And these are really not very easy tests to go through. It requires a lot of patience and a lot of willingness to do that. So we did that. Because if a meditation process is doing something to your brain, we should be able to detect that. Scientific findings are verifiable. They're replicable. You can replicate them, duplicate them. So Swamiji went through those sessions and we found some interesting findings.
In PET scan, they inject a radioactive dye which goes and sits in parts of the brain that are active. In the normal, non-meditative state, the brain is very active. And when we are seeing someone, the rear end of the brain, the visual cortex, is very active, as shown in the diagram.
Usually the brain is so active, there are 100 billion brain cells there. But what meditation does is something very interesting. It shows the frontal lobes getting more active. The frontal lobe is where you have judgment, wisdom, reasoning. Here are some of the brain scans I'm going to share with you. This is alert, non-meditative state. The second one is 30 minutes into 30 minutes meditation. Look at the frontal lobes, how they light it up. They light it up big time. 60 minutes of deep meditation, and here is a deep, deep level of meditation where it lights up significantly right here. Right in the middle, probably 1.5 inches, 2 inches deeper. What's interesting was, Swami was inside, and that's the last part of that one. See that light right here? Just I've never seen that before in my life, so the other parts I've seen. May not be to the extent that Swamiji showed, but this is something interesting. There is something called dopamine, which is a chemical our brain is involved in. Dopamine is produced mostly in this area. And when you have any pleasurable feeling in your body, it is mediated through dopamine. It's a neuroreceptor. It's a chemical that transmits messages of pleasure. It basically evokes pleasure chemicals. You eat the same thing is with visual pleasures you have. Beautiful people, beautiful sceneries, nature, whatever gives you pleasure. It's mediated through dopamine. Everything that human being experiences involves dopamine. But what's interesting is that you and I have the potential to create our own dopamine in a big way. So I named it, for lack of a word in the past, the D spot, which is the dopamine spot. If you can discover your D spot, you got it made in life. The D really stands for divine spot. The D also stands for delight, and the dopamine spot. What's also interesting is that he could, at will, go in and out of the states. I'll share with you, there's so much more talk about physiology of mind and brain and the body. It's a fascinating field that this is something that all human beings can relate to, can apply in our own lives. Not only a sophisticated knowledge, but these things have application in daily life for all of us.
Nithyananda's system of free healing, known as Nithya Spiritual Healing, has been baffling the medical world, curing diseases from migraine to cancer. Qualified people are also initiated to become healers. The complete report of the research conducted on Nithyananda's neurological system can be found in the book Mystic Phenomena, Scientific Data.
And let us watch what the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism has revealed about puja and prayer.
If you are not allowed to do yoga, made to believe early morning sleep is the best thing in your life, you are tortured, you are abused, your divine rights are violated. If you are constantly inspired to do yoga early morning, Brahma Muhurta time, and everyday puja, sit that 30-40 minutes and melt down by feeling connection. Understand? Nothing can be compared to prayer to bust your stress. I tell you, prayer is the best stress buster. Deep feeling connection and tears rolling in your eyes and melting down. Prayer to Paramashiva. intense yearning, Vyakulata, talking to Paramashiva, relating to Paramashiva. Nothing can be compared to that to bust your stress. I tell you, every day puja is an ultimate recharging experience. If you do every day puja, the kind of the stress-free life you will live, your whole biological clock will be aligned to Kailasa. I tell you, I have seen the people who have the habit of Nitya Puja live long. Not just long, happy. In my whole life, it is Nitya Puja, Puja, that gave me all the best things of life. Every day puja, relating with the deities is the best stress buster. Touch the deities, do decoration, dress up. Even now, my best time of the day is when I sit with my deities. When I sit with my deities, dress up the deities, jewel them, spend time with them, talk to them, intensely pray, deeply connect and pray. Understand? You do not know the power of Archavatara. God landing in physical deity form, never power of Archavatara. The Archavatara, living avatara. What living avatar can do to you, an Archavatara can do. Atma Linga I am giving to all of you is literally living Archavatara. Is a piece of God. Literally.
And the next method is by surrendering to Devi Parashakti through social media. During the Akash, it gives us the opportunity to connect with her through various social media platforms and attends to each of us prayers and showers us with blessings and boons. Let us now see how we can connect with Devi Parashakti through social media. The first way is by becoming a member of the YouTube channel. So you can go to Kailasa's HDH Nithyananda YouTube channel, join to become a member. And once you become a member, you can ask your questions in the comments section during the live Parashakti Akashic reading. And Devi will directly see your question and attend to it. And the next way is by liking and following Kailasa's SPH JGM Nithyananda Paramashivam Facebook page. And you can go ahead and ask your questions in the live video during the live Parashakti Akashic reading. You can ask your questions in the comment section. The next way is by following Sri Nithyananda on Twitter, and you can ask your questions in the reply section of the tweet with the hashtag #AskTheAvatar. And the next way is by following Sri Nithyananda on Instagram, and you can ask your questions in the comment section. And then lastly, you can ask your questions via WhatsApp by searching kailasa.org. And then you can ask your questions in the WhatsApp chat that pops up. And all of these methods are an easy way to ask your prayers, your questions directly to Devi Parashakti, and they will fall directly in the eyes of Devi Parashakti herself. And the next method is by worshiping Devi Parashakti by doing the fire walking wherever she resides. And the Supreme Concept of Hinduism has revealed that fire walking is an alchemy process. And in the words of the Supreme Concept of Hinduism himself, our rishis and munis have been adept and master in every field, whether health or keeping the society safe, and every field. So all the vratams, the pujas, the spiritual techniques, the religious rituals, anything they design is highly scientific and directly useful to the life. Coronavirus will not affect you at all, because that fire walking time, that small blisters, just shoots up your whole immunity. That power, the power to protect yourself from any virus or any problem, it's actually a powerful technique. It's a very powerful technique followed in those days, especially during this season. Especially that is done very traditionally, systematically. If you had even small blisters, and even if you did not have any blisters, you are protected already from corona problems. You will not be affected at all. Corona will not work on you. It will not affect you. And don't worry, it's a traditional way of making you immune. Actually, it's a traditional vaccination process. It's 11 feet length, the burning live charcoal on which you are supposed to walk with the traditional powerful music, which activates your lymph system, that mukulam, we call it, in the back of the neck. This music will feel like it is hitting the back of your neck, and your whole detox system will be awakened. In that peak altered state of consciousness, you should walk on fire. Not just like that, you will walk. You will first awaken, trigger the detox system, and then walk on fire in 11 feet fire pit. If you do one fire walking, you are absolutely protected from corona. Pray to Mahamariam and do the fire walking. That is all. It's like a traditional powerful vaccination. Pray to Parashakti, Mahamari, and do the Pache Patni Vratam. Do this traditional fire walking. You are absolutely protected from coronavirus. No need to panic. Traditional vaccination, traditional, natural, organic, no bad side effect vaccination is the Hindu fire walking. Let us listen to the Supreme Concept of Hinduism himself revealing the benefits and the science of fire walking.
All these transmutation processes means balancing the system and awakening the whole consciousness to your whole body is what I call transmutation processes. Some parts of your body becomes insensitive to the existence because of the job it is doing, like a feet. Because of the continuous walking, it becomes insensitive. Your cheeks, how they are sensitive. They don't become, they lose sensitivity to the reality. But for a complete Kundalini awakening, your whole body needs to be alive and experiencing the reality and ability to experience the higher consciousness. That is the reason we have the process of fireworking.
Now let us watch the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism himself doing the fire walking in Tiruvannamalai.
சத்தியம் காத்திடும் உத்தமத்தியே சத்குருவாய் வந்த நித்திய தாயே வேதங்கள் வணங்கிடும் ஆதியும் நீயே ஜோதிமலையிலே அவதரித்தாயே அவனியை பேணும் ஞானமும் நீயே அக்னி வடிவிலே அருள் புரிந்தாயே தீனிலே பிறந்தவளே நித்ய ஆனந்தத்தியே நித்யானந்தேஸ்வரி தீனிலே பிறந்தவளே நித்ய ஆனந்தத்தியே நித்யானந்தேஸ்வரி கருமங்களை கொன்றிட வந்தாய் நித்யானந்த தர்ம மண்ணில் வென்றிட வந்தாய் கருமங்களை கொன்றிட வந்தாய் நித்யானந்த தர்ம மண்ணில் வென்றிட வந்தாய் தீயினிலே பிறந்தவளே நித்ய ஆனந்த தீயே நித்யானந்தேஸ்வரி
And a study conducted by the U.S. National Study of Medicine, the National Institute of Health, has studied the various effects and benefits of firewalking. And they found that those who participated in firewalking had increased levels of happiness and lower fatigue levels compared to those who did not participate in firewalking. The next method is by applying turmeric on the chest, drinking neem juice, and meditating on Devi Parashakti every day. So this
Bididi. It is not, I'm not talking. Bididi. It is talking from air. I am talking from ground. In Bididi, before we came to that land, 30 borewells were dug, no water. Now, from the day we came till now, we have water for 10,000 people to live comfortably in that very land. It's only pouring, pouring. Karumari's grace. Wherever we started ashram, nature completely cooperates because we know biology, whole biology thinks. If you are having bitter relationships in your life, just start drinking bitter. The problem will be solved. Understand, if you are irritated, even if you don't react, even if you don't talk to people, you release that kind of vibes. Take Haritaki. You will see you release sweet kind of vibes. Take neem juice. You release healing, compassionate vibes. A woman who applies neem powder and takes bath, who applies turmeric powder and takes bath, is equivalent to Karumari Mahamayi. That neem paste and turmeric powder, if a woman takes bath with that, she is equivalent to Mahamayi. She is embodiment of Karumari, because she will be manifesting that same vibes of Karumari. I sincerely recommend people start doing all these activities, like applying neem paste and taking bath, applying haritaki powder and taking bath, applying turmeric powder and taking bath, applying basma and taking bath, especially for men, basma, for women, neem paste and turmeric paste. All four can be used by all genders. That is different. If you want specific, I'll recommend the neem and turmeric for female body, haritaki and basma for male body. Understand, your whole biology things. Working on whole biology changes the whole life. So, now with this understanding the whole biology things, think Mahavagya. This is Ajapa Ajapa. Think Mahavagya. With the understanding your whole biology things. Om Nithyananda Paramashivoham. Blessings to all of you. Start manifesting powers now.
There's been extensive research that has been done on turmeric, and the National Center for Biotechnology Information in the US has studied the various health benefits of turmeric, and they found that traditionally turmeric is known for its anti-inflammatory effect, and curcumin, the active agent in turmeric, has been shown in the last 2 decades to be a potent immunomodulator agent that can modulate the activation of T cells, B cells, macrophages, neutrophils, natural killer cells, and dendritic cells. And curcumin can also downregulate the expression of various pro-inflammatory cytokines, including TNF, IL-1, IL-2, IL-6, IL-8, IL-12, and chemokine. And this is most likely done through the inactivation of the transcription factor NF-kappa B. And this research shows that turmeric can modulate the activation of various immune cells, and as well as enhance the body's antibody response. And with a strengthened immune system, you will be able to stay healthy and be able to maintain an active lifestyle. And in India.com, it was also reported that neem can help fight against coronavirus and is a very important component of Ayurveda. And a study published by KGMU has found that turmeric, and neem are effective against coronavirus. The next method is with complete mind, applying banana peel and onion in the heels and going to sleep. And this is how you can apply onion in the heels and banana, and then you can cover it with a sock and then go to sleep. And onion is very well known to be a potent detoxifying agent. And in Medical Daily, it was reported that onions contain a high amount of sulfur compounds, which not only give onions the recognizable smell, but are also powerful detoxifying agents. And with more than 100 sulfur-containing compounds, which are what cause the eyes to tear, onions can help prevent and treat ailments from diabetes to heart disease. This is why in Ayurveda, it's very well known as a medicine that is very potent. And it was also reported in the Journal of Phototherapy on the detoxifying effects of onion. The downstream products are a complex mixture of sulfur-based compounds, and these have been reported to have a range of health benefits, which include anti-carcinogenic properties, anti-platelet activity, anti-thrombotic activity, anti-asthmatic, and antibiotic effects. And the next method is being in an unclutched state, filling with eternal bliss. These signs of unclutching revealed by the Supreme Concept of Hinduism himself.
The brain is the organ which controls our whole physical being. Once our brain has been imbalanced, it will then transmit that imbalance throughout the whole body. Thought forms are pure energy that have the ability to influence people and everyday events in life. According to science, our brains generate an electromagnetic field which may be measured by such instruments as an encephalograph. This electromagnetic field is generated by the brain every time we think, and as our mind is never still, we may be compared to perpetual power generators. Fear produces nervous disorders. Anger produces headaches and violence. Confused thoughts produce congestion and ill health. Depression causes cancer, tumors, mental diseases, and lowering of the immune system, causing death through own willpower. Our thoughts generate intricate energy patterns which can be detected by sensitive equipment and seen by clairvoyant individuals. These energy patterns are known as thought forms. Surprisingly, thought forms are shaped by the thoughts themselves. Each of us creates hundreds of thought forms every hour and release them into the environment. Although we cannot see them, the thought forms have as real an existence as any other form of energy. Most people can sense others' thoughts form, and a continuous energetic exchange happens between people, about which we are usually unaware. This also explains why we sometimes take a sudden liking or dislike to a certain person directly on meeting them. We just catch their vibes. Unclutching is a guide for equanimity and enlightenment. Thoughts are like bubbles in a fish tank. Rise from the bottom. Our thoughts also rise in the same manner. When one bubble comes and reaches the surface of the water, the next bubble starts and the third bubble starts. Because the bubbles are rising at high speed, they look like a continuous stream. But our mind is not a continuous stream. There is always a gap between two thoughts. Like the bubbles, we also experience a neutral space between two thoughts. This neutral space between two thoughts is our original state, the pure silence. It is a state of pure consciousness, the state of God. Since the gap or the neutral space between two thoughts is too small, we think all thoughts are connected and form a shaft. But there is always a gap between two thoughts. In the forest of northern India, the hunters trap the birds using a trap. They tie a rope between two trees. The rope is the shaft that we create by connecting two thoughts. In the middle of the rope, they secure a wooden stick. The stick is our mind. The rope is tied at the midpoint of the stick. When a bird comes and sits on the stick, the bird's own weight turns the whole stick upside down. It turns topsy-turvy. The moment it turns upside down and loses its sense of balance, it feels totally shaken and tightens its grip on the stick. It simply holds onto the stick as if its life depends on it. Similarly, we connect thoughts and form a shaft out of it and live in the fear that if we drop our mind, we might be lost. We might lose our identity. Because it is hanging upside down, it thinks, if I unclutch from this stick, I will fall and die. Is similar to the fear that if we start trusting that we are unconnected, unclutched, independent and illogical thoughts, we might be lost. If the bird lets go and relaxes, it may flutter to balance for a moment or two. When it leaves the stick, maybe for a few seconds, it will fall, but then it will adjust itself and start flying. In the same way, we hold on to whatever we think is our identity and security, our education, our mind, our life, our relationships, or our bank balance. Ultimately comes to remove the stick that is our identity. Just like the bird, we don't realize that if we drop our mind, at that moment we can become a Paramahamsa. That very moment we can be liberated. Upanishad, there is a story which explains there is a huge tall tree, and in the tallest branch of the tree there is a golden bird from everything in bliss, like Dakshinamurti. In the lower level branch, there is a small bird which jumps from here and there to various branches eating fruits. When it eats a bitter fruit, it feels bad. Whenever she eats the bitter fruit, she sees the bird which is looking above silently like Dakshinamurti and feels why I should not be like that bird. But unfortunately, when the same bird, when it eats tasty fruit, it forgets the bird sitting above it. In the same way, she keeps battling between branches, eating bitter and tasty fruits again and again. One day, as a small bird flies up higher, and as it reaches near the golden bird, it realized that he and she are the same. There is no difference between them both and realizes her original state. The small bird realizes that she also can be a golden bird and become a Paramahamsa. This moment, trust yourself. Don't bother about losing your identity. Just trust yourself and let go of your identity. You will immediately become a Paramahamsa and be liberated. All you need to do is to trust that you're unclutched. Dropping the conclusions you can't be transformed is unclutching.
And the next method is by doing Ajiba Ajiba of the cosmic sound Shiva, Shiva, Shiva. a study conducted by the US National Library of Medicine on the benefits of chanting has found that doing Ajba Ajba chanting has a direct and positive benefit for the physical health as well as the mental well-being. And the study correlates the chanting of Ajba Ajba to the vagus nerve stimulation used as a treatment for depression and epilepsy. And a study conducted by Dr. Masuro Imoto established that human intentions, words, or thoughts can change the molecular structure formation in water. And this interesting research clearly depicts how when the water is being exposed to positive sound vibrations, the molecular formation in the water changes to a pleasant formation, whereas a negative sound vibration or word can disfigure or distort the water molecule formation. So here you can see the various sounds that were spoken to water, and there were two experiments done where one positive sounds or vibrations or words were given to water, so compassion, thank you, wisdom, and they found that the water formed these beautiful crystal snowflake-like structures, and when negative words or sounds were played for the water, like heavy metal music, I will kill you, you fool, and they found that the water had very disfigured, disjointed structures, and it did not form into this beautiful molecular structure. Positive sounds created in the water. And this research shows that the impact of few words on one glass of water, but imagine what happens inside your body, which is composed of up to 60% water when you chant the Ajba Ajba, the chanting of the powerful sacred mantra. And the last step is being in the state beyond remembrance, beyond any remembrance or forgetting in the Arunachala Purana that blossoms as Aham Aham, the Ananda Purana. And these are the 8 methods that Devi Parashakti has revealed in order to protect yourself from corona by praying to her, connecting with her, and worshiping her through these 8 methods. You will surely be protected from coronavirus. And with this, we will be concluding this portion of the program, and we'll be entering into the next segment where we will understand how we can connect with Devi Parashakti more deeply. And Devi has been continuously guiding us over the last several months. She's even revealed the method for protecting ourselves from coronavirus. So if you are just overflowing with love and gratitude for your divine cosmic mother, you can stay tuned for this segment where we will understand the various offerings that you can make to Devi Parashakti and how you can connect with Devi more deeply. So Devi Parashakti is the complete manifestation of both the masculine and feminine consciousness, and both consciousness have to be expressed equally by every human being to be enlightened. Until enlightenment, only the masculine dimension expresses more than that of the feminine dimension, irrespective of whether you are in a male or female physical body. And every human being has to complete with these 5 dimensions to achieve enlightenment. The first is the Pitrus, or the ancestors. The second is the Kula Devatas, the family deities. The third are the parents who we inherit our DNA from. And the fourth is nature. And fifth is Guru, who will ultimately bestow enlightenment upon you. And the incompletions are life negative adharmic cognitions in these 5 dimensions, which lead to misconstrued karana and karya, the cause and effect, which further lead to suffering and pain and calamities in individual, personal, and collective and global levels. Being sensitive is being aware and in gratitude to life for everything that we have, from the air that we breathe, to the place that we sit, to the energy that we feel that we exist, to the energy to celebrate our existence. These 43 energies constitute our human body, which, when all 43 are integrated to Dharma, one becomes enlightened. Dharma is the cosmic motherly completion and sensitivity from the level of the Panchabhutas. And this is the core principle of the cosmos. Awakening the sacred feminine is key to enlightenment. When awakened, man expresses the sacred feminine consciousness. He becomes a great revered leader. And when awakened, a woman expresses the sacred feminine consciousness. She becomes Devi, the cosmic mother expressing all the powers. And the key to awaken the sacred feminine consciousness is conscious sovereignty, which the Supreme Concept of Hinduism has revealed immensely about over the last several months and have blessed us into over the last several months. And out of millions of paths, the easiest, sweetest, and most beautiful path to enlightenment is connecting with the cosmos as mother, as Devi Parashakti, the cosmic feminine consciousness. And Devi is the one who expresses as Guru all the gods and all the manifestations in the universe. She can straight away deliver enlightenment by connecting to the cosmic umbilical cord. And an offering is not done to benefit the divine, but to close our gap with the divine consciousness. And when we achieve completion with the divine mother, her infinite powers with her sweet grace starts nourishing all our dimensions through the cosmic umbilical cord. There's nothing too small or too big one can offer to connect with the Divine Mother. It has to be from a space of love, of a child looking at a mother and handing her what it has to share with her out of deep love and gratitude. It can be a cup of milk or a flower, or it can be a precious jewel to adorn her smiling face or her hair. And the Vedic rishis have clearly stated the technique to connect with the sacred feminine consciousness, to awaken the same qualities in us. And one can connect with Paramashiva through oneness, but with the divine cosmic mother, it is only by worshiping her feet with devotion. And mother worship is the most non-violent, most peace-centered, most healing, soothing, and sweetest path to enlightenment among all traditions on planet Earth. Worshipping includes contemplating, meditating through sacred offerings of mantras and oblations at her feet. And mother worship, as we have stated, is the sweetest path to enlightenment. So why worship the mother? Why the divine feminine? Because she is the ultimate, and she can make you experience the ultimate. This is the Shastra Pramana for Devi Parashakti. And it translates, I walk as the 11 Rudras, I walk as the Vasus, I walk as Vishnu and other Adityas and all the divine forms, the Vishvadevas, assuming the form of the inner self of all gods. I hold aloft Mitra and Varuna, even as Indra and Agni, I do, and the Ashwini twins too. This is from the Rig Veda. The Ekadasha Rudras, the Maharudra, Ashtavasus, Dvadasha Adityas, the Vishvadevata, all of them are my retinue. I move around in my various forms with them as my retinue. I protect all of them, including Mitra, Varuna, Indra, Agni, and the Ashwini Devatas. Devi declares herself as the inner self of all the gods, the divine energies. She is all pervading and all permeating, and we are the most blessed being on planet Earth to be able to relate with Devi Parashakti as our very own Guru, manifesting through the supreme concept of Hinduism himself, to bestow all the divine energies upon us and to guide us through this crisis. So let us understand how we can connect with Devi Parashakti more deeply and offer our love and gratitude to Devi. So the very first offering that we have is the E-Kundi offering, which is the general donation, which can be made in any amount. And this is like in any temple that you visit, you may offer a few dollars or how much ever you would like in the Kundi. And you can do the same online through the offering that Kailasa has made available for each and every one of you. And you can just do this with your love and your devotion, just to say thank you, the divine, for happening in your life. And it is stated that Devi is fond of true devotion and is realized through true devotion. She can be won over through true devotion, and she removes all fears. And if there is any fear in the minds of the devotees, Devi is sure to remove that fear. It is stated that Devi likes to be worshipped in autumn, and this is not the autumn, the season, but rather the autumn of our lives, when our thoughts turn more and more inwards and the role of the divine becomes much more known and understood clearly. The need for Devi worship becomes much stronger. And Devi is described as the one who bestows happiness on all her devotees. So you can offer your gratitude and devotion to Devi Parashakti by offering your kanika, and your name shall be chanted during the puja to Devi Parashakti. The next offering is the Sankalpa chanting, or the offering of your conscious resolution to Devi Parashakti. And in the Saundarya Lahari, it states that the mantras I chant with the sacrifice in my soul become chanting of your name. Let all my movements become auspicious mantras, that my travel become perambulation around you. Let the act of eating and drinking become fire. Let become fire offerings, oblations, and homas and yajnas to you. Let my act of sleeping become salutations to you, and let all actions of pleasure of mine become part of your worship. And when you offer the Sankalpa chanting to Devi Parashakti from this context, you will be blessed with all boons, asked and unasked, remembered and forgotten. And all of it will manifest by the grace of Devi Parashakti herself. The next offering is the Devi Sahasranama Swadnakasu, which is the golden coin with the inscription of the various names of Devi Parashakti. And each of these various names are the various divine qualities of Devi Parashakti, whether it's her infinite compassion or her overflowing knowledge. Whichever quality you may be connecting with, you will be blessed with all of these Ananta Kalyana Gunas, the divine qualities and attributes of Devi Parashakti when you offer this Sahasranama Swadnakasu. The next offering is the Mukta Amruti, the finger ring with a pearl. And Devi Meenakshi is very well known to be adorned in pearls. And the pearl represents the compassion of Devi. And when you offer this Mukta Anguti, you will be blessed with Devi Parashakti's compassion and protection from all dangers and fears in your life. The next offering is the Swarna Padma Pushpa, the golden lotus. And it is stated that Devi is the one who bestows accomplishments and intellect, the one who showers worldly prosperity. And Devi is the one who powers the subtle mantra of the cosmos. I bow to you, O Devi Mahalakshmi. And so when you offer this Swarna Padma Pushpa, you'll be blessed with attracting positive relationships in personal and business dimensions of your life. The next offering is the Swarnameti, the golden covering that you can offer to the divine lotus feet of Devi Parashakti. And in the Saundarya Lahari, it states that Lord Brahma, the creator of your, selects a dust from your feet and creates this world. The great Adishesha, with his thousands of heads, somehow carries a dust from your feet with great effort. And the great Lord Rudra takes it and powders it nicely and uses it as holy ash. You can see the greatness of Devi Parashakti's feet, which one dust from him is enough for Lord Brahma to create the entire world. You will be blessed with a lifetime of leadership qualities by offering worship to the divine lotus feet of Devi Parashakti. And this can be achieved even by worshipping a tiny grain of dust from her feet. And the Meti is a gold co-ring that you can offer to adorn the divine lotus feet. The next offering is the Mantika, the gold hairline jewelry, which Devi is described as the one who makes the nectar flow from the Sahasrara, the crown center, to the Anya, the third eye, and permeates all our 72,000 nadis, the energy centers, to give us the ultimate experience of the cosmos. So when you offer this Mantika, the gold hairline jewelry, you will be blessed with your Sahasrara overflowing with the bliss energy and be blessed to have an enlightened lifestyle. The next offering is the Pratiksha Pada Puja, which is the most favorite offering of all the devotees and disciples of the Supreme Consciousness. This is a very special offering that you can make to your very own Guru, who is manifesting Devi Parashakti just for your blessing and healing. And Adi Shankaracharya has stated the greatness of worshiping the Guru's feet. He describes, my repute has traveled in all directions through my philanthropy and prowess. All things of this world are in my hands as rewards for my virtues. Yet if one's mind be not centered upon the lotus feet of the Guru, what then, what then, what then? You can see the greatness of worshiping the Guru's feet, who is manifesting a feminine consciousness, the one who is beyond the idea of male and female. And when you worship the divine lotus feet of the Guru in the dimension of the Cosmic Mother, you will be blessed with the most auspicious, sweetest path to enlightenment. And the next offering is the Vastra Seva, which is the offering of clothes to Guru, the dimension of the Cosmic Mother. And this is during the Pratiksha Pada Puja. And when you offer this, you will be bestowed with all protection in your life and a sweet path. And here is the list of all the various offerings. The first is the Ihundi offering, the general donation. The Sankalpa chanting, the offering of a conscious resolution. The next is the Devi Sahasranama Swarnakatu, the gold coin with the inscription of Devi's various names. The Mukta Anguti, the finger ring with a pearl. the Swarna Padma Pushpa, the golden lotus, the Swarna Metti, the golden toe ring, the Mantika, the gold hairline jewelry, and the Pratiksha Pada Puja, the worship of the lotus feet of the Guru, and the Vastra Seva, which is the offering of cloth to the Guru. So you can make any of these offerings by visiting gateway.nithyanandeshwarahindutemple.org/NHTLA to the Parashakti Bhava Samadhi Darshan donations page. And this is what you will be seeing when you visit this website. And you can select whichever offering you would like to make. It is in a very simple drop-down menu. And here you can see all of the various offerings in the drop-down menu. And you can choose whichever one you would like. Say you would like to offer the Swarna, you can go ahead and choose that. And you can choose as many as you would like. You would like to offer one on behalf of your daughter, and as well as for yourself, you can choose two and add that to your cart. And this is what your cart will look like once you have added all of your offerings. You can verify everything is there, and then you can proceed to the checkout. And then once you proceed to checkout, you can fill out all of your billing details like you would for any other online payment. It's a very simple process. And you can fill out your order details. And once this is done, you can go ahead and place your order and offer your seva to Devi Parashakti. After that, you can also go ahead and become a member of Kailasa's HDH Nithyananda page. This is also a very simple process. You can just go to YouTube and visit Kailasa's HDH Nithyananda page, and you can click the join button on this page. And once you have clicked that, you will be directed to this window where you can choose which level of e-Kailashian or member you would like to be. And you can choose between the bronze, silver, gold, platinum, and premium level. And each of these offer various benefits, various exclusive content that you will have access to. And it's a very simple process to make this payment. You can do it through your credit card or debit card or through PayPal, and this can be done directly through YouTube. When you're done, you will be a member of Kailasa's HDH Nithyananda page, and you will be able to ask any of your questions live during the Devi Parashakti Akashic readings in the comment section in YouTube, in the YouTube video. And if you do not see this join button, as was shown earlier, it means you are already a member and you will already have access to all of this exclusive content. So once you are done with that, you will be a member and you will have all of the various benefits of becoming a member of the Kailasa's HDH Nithyananda page. And so with this, you can see the link for the offerings that you can make. So you can visit gateway.nithyanandeshwarahindutemple.org/NHTLA, and you can direct yourself to the Parashakti Bhava Samadhi Darshan donations page. And this is where you can make your offering. So again, this link will be projected for a few moments. And with this, we will be concluding this portion of the program, and we will be entering into the next segment, where we will be hearing from the Adi Kailasa Sarvajnipita, where the Supreme Concept of Hinduism has opened up all of the Kailasas in India for the Kailasa COVID care centers for multi-layer quarantine in order to protect all of the citizens from coronavirus during this time. So we have Ma Dayamai Swami with us here today to guide us through this, all of the various activities that are going on in Adi Kailasa Sarvajnipita. So thank you so much, Ma Nithyananda. Thank you for joining.
Thank you, Ma Nithyanandam. Nithyanandam, everyone. Welcome back and to this segment of the Kailasa's de facto spiritual embassies, which are now the COVID care protection centers, which are adding to not only protection from the COVID, are which are giving you a conscious breakthrough, adding more joy, more peace, more blissful life. So let us understand with the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism, Jagat Guru Mahasannidhanam, His Divine Holiness Bhagwan Nithyananda Paramashivam blessings. Let's start with the Sadguru Vandanam. Nithyanandam Paramasugadam Kevalam Jnanamurtim Dandvatitam Gagana Sadrusham Tattvamasya Ekam Nityam Vimalamachalam Sarvadi Sakshibhutam Bhavatitam Triguna Rahitam Sadgurum Tam Namami. Yes. If you see the statistics across the world today, the COVID-19 Delta variant is still most concerning, says the World Health Organization experts. Even with the emergence of the new COVID-19 variant, the Delta strain remains the top concern globally, appearing to outcompete others. Senior officials with the World Health Organization said on Tuesday, I think the Delta variant for me is the one that's most concerning because of the increased transmittability, said Dr. Marina Van Kerkhove, the agency's technical lead for COVID-19, speaking during an online question and answer session. It's doubly transmissible compared to the ancestor strain, which means that it can spread to more people. According to the World Economic Forum, the reports, the COVID-19 made the world less peaceful. COVID-19 variant incidences and fatalities, January 2020 to April 2021. You can see the violent incidences related to the pandemic peaked in April 2020. The prevalence of depression and anxiety remains high among younger adults in France. Younger adults are more likely to report symptoms of anxiety and or depressive disorders during the COVID-19 pandemic. Ages 18 to 24, the younger adults, which are aging between 18 to 24, about 56.2% got affected, and ages 25 to 49, about 48.9% got affected, and about ages 50 to 64, about 38.1% got affected, and ages 65 plus, about 29.3% are reporting symptoms of anxiety and or depressive disorders. And what it was from January to June, a 6 months period, the average share of adults reporting symptoms of anxiety disorder and or depressive disorder, the 6 months period in the year of 2019 was 11%, but now in just 1 month, in January 2021, it spiked up to 41%. And the set of result which shows the younger adults are more affected the anxiety and depressive disorders during the pandemic. The stress in America in 2020, a national mental health crisis, COVID-19 is a significant stressor for most Americans. Nearly 8 in 10, which is 78%, say the coronavirus pandemic is a significant source of stress in their life. Nearly 7 in 10, which is 67%, say they have experienced increased stress over the course of the pandemic. COVID-19 could exacerbate the doctor's existing mental health burden. More than 60,000 US healthcare workers have contracted COVID-19, 300 have died. Of the healthcare workers who treated patients during China's COVID-19 outbreak, 50% showed signs of depression and 40% showed signs of anxiety. The self-reported mental health among pregnant women, new mothers, Before COVID-19 pandemic, depression was 15%. Now, during the pandemic, the increased to 40.7%. Now, what it was, the anxiety before the pandemic was 29%, and now during this pandemic, the anxiety level is increased to 72%. Living under stay-at-home orders, 8 in 10 students are struggling with focus on school or work and avoiding distractions. Students are interacting most with parents during COVID-19 physical distancing, and parents can support students simply spending time with them, ranked much higher than talking about COVID-19 news. For college students, mental wellness, virtual face-to-face time. For high school students, digital social gatherings. 55% of all students do not know where to go for help for their mental health. Understanding the impact on working women. The nearly 82% of women surveyed said their lives have been negatively disrupted by the pandemic. The global economic outlook during the COVID-19 pandemic, a changed world. The pandemic is expected to plunge most countries into recession in 2020, with per capita income contracting in the largest fraction of countries globally since 1870. The COVID-19 recession has seen the fastest, steepest downgradable in consensus growth projections among all global recessions since 1990. According to the UN news, COVID-19 threatening global peace and security. UN chief warns. While the COVID-19 pandemic is the first and foremost a health crisis, its implications are far more reaching and could threaten global peace and security. The UN Secretary General told members of the Security Council in a closed video conference held on Thursday. But the pandemic also poses a significant threat to the maintenance of international peace and security, potentially leading to an increase in the social unrest and violence that would greatly undermine our ability to fight the disease. He warned, later stating that the Council's engagement will be critical to mitigate these implications. COVID-19 profoundly affecting peace across the globe, says the Secretary General in address to Security Council. The COVID-19 pandemic is profoundly affecting peace and security across globe. Secretary General Antonio Guterres told the Secretary Council in a 2nd July 2021 video conference debate, pressing the chamber to use its collective influence to protect the millions of people affected by conflict and already facing acute vulnerabilities. Addressing the 15-member organ on the impact of COVID-19 on international peace and security, Mr. Guterres said the health pandemic is fast becoming a protection crisis. Collective security and our shared well-being are under assault on many fronts. He emphasized, led by a relentless disease and abated global fragilities, our challenge is to save lives today while buttressing the pillars of security for tomorrow. The COVID-19 updates from UNEP, the environmental program. Time to get serious about the climate change. On a warming planet, no one is safe. You have been telling us for over 3 decades of the dangers of allowing the planet to warm. The world listened, but it did not hear. The world listened, but it did not act strongly enough. As a result, climate change is a problem that is here. Now, nobody is safe and it is getting worse faster. According to the International Labour Organization, COVID-19 is a threat to peace building in conflict-affected nations. The COVID-19 crisis has worsened already fragile situations. The ILO is more aware than ever of its responsibility to promote peace and resilience in the time of this global pandemic. The Mumbai mayor says the third wave is here. What to do? What do the September surge in COVID cases tells us? The city's mayor has said that the third wave of COVID is already upon Mumbai, pointing to a sudden spike in cases. The third wave of COVID-19 is not coming, it is here, said Kishori Padnekar, adding that an announcement regarding the matter had already been made in Nagpur. Speaking of the coming festive season in Maharashtra, the mayor urged people to remain in their homes. The mandals have been asked to allow only 10 people and have them work in shifts, she said. The breakthrough infections found in 25% health staff study. A little over 25% of healthcare workers were infected with coronavirus despite getting fully vaccinated. A recent study has revealed, giving an insight on the breakthrough infections due to the Delta variant. The study, jointly conducted by the Institute of Genomics and Integrative Biology and Maximum Hospital, found that vaccination breakthroughs were far more common during the Delta outbreak in Delhi than previously reported. The new COVID-19 variant, Mu, shows signs of vaccine resistance. All you need to know. A new coronavirus strain known as Mu, first identified in Colombia in January, has been designated a variant of interest by the World Health Organization. After being detected in Colombia, Mu, known scientifically as B.1.621, has since been reported in other South American countries and in Europe. The Mu variant has a constellation of mutations that indicate potential properties of immune escape. The General Health Body said Tuesday weekly pandemic bulletin. The new strain of COVID-19 detected in 6 countries, Power Breakfast, CNBC TV 18. The ongoing coronavirus pandemic is not over yet, and the new highly mutated COVID C.1.2 strain discovered in South Africa is a testimony to how dangerously the virus can adapt to bypass vaccines when the world decides to reopen prematurely. The C.1.2 variant has been termed the world's most mutated variant since the beginning of the pandemic. Variant C.1.2 causes flutter. The World Health Organization says it's watching. The WHO has said that there are 100 sequences of C.1.2 reported globally from the easiest reports from May 21 from South Africa, and currently it does not appear to be increasing in circulation. The new variant was first found in South Africa in May. Researchers from South Africa have described the C.1.2 variant, which has 40 to 59 mutations more than the original Wuhan virus. The speed of evolution for this variant is 1.8 faster than the average. So join the COVID Care Protection Centers and register now through the link below, https://kailasa.org/Kailasa Making peace with nature is possible if we start now. Making peace with nature is possible if we start now. Even amid a pandemic, 2021 can go down as the year we made peace with nature and set the planet to healing. Our environmental, societal, and economic challenges are interlinked. They must be tackled together. For example, we cannot achieve sustainable developmental goals, including ending poverty, by 2030 if climate change and ecosystem collapse are undermining food and water supplies in the world's poorest countries. We have no choice but to transform our economies and societies by valuing nature and putting its health at the heart of all our decisions. Now let's watch a video clip on this. Making peace with the nature. The World Health Organization Health and Peace Initiative. Health and peace are interrelated. In the words of Director General of World Health Organization, Dr. Tedros, there cannot be a health without peace, and there cannot be a peace without health. If individuals and groups enjoy equitable access to health services, fulfilling their rights to physical and mental health, and health actors design neutral health interventions that promote trust and dialogue, and communities are empowered to cope with violent conflicts, then health coverage is more universal. Grievances can be heard and addressed to generate trust around the health emergency. Concerns affected communities are more likely to make meaningful contributions to peace and reconciliation, and to resist incitement to violence. The world today, on International Yoga Day on 21st 2021 theme, Yoga for Well-Being. The day will be marked at a time when COVID-19 pandemic continues to upend lives and livelihoods of people globally. Beyond its immediate impact on physical health, the COVID-19 pandemic has also exacerbated psychological suffering and mental health problems, including depression and anxiety, as pandemic-related restrictions continue in various forms in many countries. This has highlighted the urgent need to address the mental health dimension of the pandemic, in addition to the physical health aspects. The message of yoga in promoting both the physical and mental well-being of humanity has never been more relevant. A growing trend of people around the world embracing yoga to stay healthy and rejuvenated and to fight social isolation and depression has been witnessed during the pandemic. Yoga is also playing a significant role in the psychosocial care and rehabilitation of COVID-19 patients in quarantine and isolation. It is particularly helpful in allaying the fears and anxiety. The United States Institute of Peace. Amid COVID, we need enhanced international coordination to build peace. The tackling the pandemic and building resilience in fragile states requires concerted international action at local, national, and global levels. As the humanitarian and economic toll of the COVID-19 pandemic continues to grow, so does the risk that this crisis will fuel new conflict around the world while stemming prospects for resolving ongoing ones. The Sustainable Developmental Goals, the UN spotlights health benefits of yoga, ancient practice that can see stress in our modern laptop lives. Yoga is a practice that can be relevant to all ages, relevant to all cultures, irrespective of what socio-economic status people represent. It can be used to unite our complex, difficult world, to promote not only healthy lifestyle, but to promote peace and security in the world, says Dr. Nata Manabde, Executive Director of the New York office of the World Health Organization, at an event entitled Conversation Yoga for Health. The stronger health systems and universal health coverage must be a priority. For the first time since 1945, the entire world is confronted by a common threat, regardless of nationality, ethnicity, or faith. A new social contract between people, governments, and private sector, civil society, and more can tackle the roots of inequality with fair taxation on income and wealth, universal benefits, and opportunities for all. Food systems hold key to ending world hunger. Effects of the COVID-19 pandemic on UN has noted a dramatic increase in world hunger. According to the State of the Food Security and Nutrition in the World, 1/10 of global population and as many as 811 million people were undernourished in 2020, an increase of 118 million from 2019. according to the EAT, the Lancet Commission, moving towards diets with a diversity of plant-based foods, low amounts of animal source foods, unsaturated rather than saturated fats, the limited amounts of refined grains, highly processed foods, and added sugars could prevent between 19 to 24% of all adult deaths each year. International peace and security. Our contemporary world is showing no signs of decline in the intensity of violent conflicts, crime, displacement, and prevalence of a continued state of tension in many regions of the world. Adding to a UN report in the year 2019 alone, about 55% of 358 political conflicts worldwide involve the use of violence. Geopolitical tensions, which have been on the rise even before the COVID-19 pandemic, have only prolonged violent conflict, making it difficult for policymakers to come together and resolve their differences peacefully and amicably. The last decade witnessed the highest number of people internally displaced by conflict and violence. The international peace and security, the Vedic tradition beautifully describes Yastu sarvani bhutani atmani ivanu pashyati sarva bhuteshu chatmanam tatona vijugupshate. Isha Upanishad, verse 6. The inner peace leads to world peace. Now, let us see the contributions of the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism to the world peace. The Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism always says the self-transformation secret to achieve global peace.
Social answer means I'll tell, oh, you should all work for global peace. You should all work for turning the world. You should work for revolution. You should work for all these, that things. You should vote only the party which says that it will stop the war and all these things. This is the social answer. Nonsense. First answer, I tell you, simply transform yourself. You can't do anything. If at all you can do, you would have done it. Be honest. If you can do, you would have done it. You are raising this question because you are not able to do. Am I right? So let us be very clear. Let us be honest. We are not able to do socially. That's the truth. That's the reason you are sitting here. I tell you, understand few important things. There are a lot more attached to this question. There are many things which is attached. We always feel the present is the world is totally spoiled. It is not going according to the rules or how it is supposed to be. It was wonderful once upon a time. In ancient time, things were going properly. Everything was well and great. And I tell you, 10,000 years ago, they found some writings on stone in Harappa Mohenjo-daro culture. Some stone writings have been discovered. The other day I read a beautiful book about that stone writings. That writings, it says, oh, nowadays the society is not as it should be. So much of war. There is no peace. In the early times, there was so much of peace. Society was really great. Things were as it should be. And it almost looks like a today newspaper editorial. 10,000 years ago, the same thing carved on a stone. Then understand, there was no such time as only good prevailed. It is just a fantasy. Hinduism, they call it Satya Yuga, the age of truth. There was a time only truth prevailed. And every religion, Christianity, they say the Garden of Adam and Eve. There was a time everything was wonderful. Every religion has got the fantasy. The past was great. There was golden past. Always the idea of golden past exists only in the past. The more you go back, again you say the past was great. And I tell you one thing, it is a wonderful way of postponing the accepting the reality. Otherwise, I can be sure the world was same as it is today. Whether it is 5,000 years ago or 10,000 years ago. Maybe one thing, there was no CNN channel that time. So the news did not reach you so quickly. That's all. The news did not reach you so quickly. That may be the only difference. But otherwise, I can be sure the good and the bad was equal. Good and the bad was equal. The same amount of wars were there. All the other things were there. You see, read the Puranas, the mythological stories of India, you see enough of things, enough of dirty things. I think sometimes I find a little more. And if you read completely the Puranas or the Hindu scriptures, there are a lot of things much worse than modern day. The criminal activities or bad things or negative things, whatever you say, all this stuff. And never think only present day is corrupted or violent. In the ancient days also, all these things were there. Only one thing was not there, the CNN news or the internet. So the news did not reach you. But otherwise I can tell you, enough the good and bad was there. It always will exist. It will exist. All you can do is, if you awaken yourself, if you reach the enlightenment state, you can go beyond it. And I tell you, enlightenment is the only service you can do to the society. Just become enlightened so that you will reduce the negativity. Now, as of now, you are also the part of negative group. Naturally, we will be a negative group. As long as we are unenlightened, we will be the part of collective negative consciousness. So if you become enlightened, at least you will reduce your weight. That's the only thing we can do. Nothing else can be done. So all I request you to do is just become enlightened. Realize that you are a lion. That's the only way to help yourself and the society. Otherwise, all revolutions, you see, all revolution again end up as one more tradition. In last 2000 years, 3000 wars have happened in the humanity. In 2000 years, 3000 wars. Human beings have not done anything except doing wars, except fighting. Everybody claims he wants to do revolution. He wants to spread peace. You see, every country claims their army is a defensive army. Then who is offending? Tell me, every country says defensive army. Then who is offending? These are all just, games. The idea of peace is a pure game. Everybody wants to spread the peace according to them, not according to the other person. They want peace according to them. The other day I was in one interreligious gathering. One guy is preaching, let all of you convert to my religion so that we will not have fight. He wants peace the way in which he wanted, not the way in which. And there is a beautiful saying, the sword of Muhammad, it is written, peace alone should survive, something like that. He has written some statement about the peace on the sword. We all take sword to spread the peace. So no revolution is going to help, because in the last 2000 years, 3000 revolutions have happened, but still world is same, I think much worse. So no revolution is going to help, only individual evolution is going to help. So be very clear. Instead of working in the outer world, start working in the inner world. That will help you and society some way. Social answer means, I'll tell, oh, you should all work for global. Social answer means, I'll tell, oh, you should all work for global.
Now, let's listen from the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism that Sri Kailasa is all about peace-based powerfulness.
Listen carefully. The space of Shanti, the space of Shanti is where Kailasa grows. Listen carefully. It is in the deep powerfulness of peace, or peace-centered powerfulness is the ground, breeding ground for Paramashivatva to manifest. Please understand. Like how pure mirror reflects everything, pure Shanti-based Shakti, peace-based powerfulness reflects Paramashiva. Paramashiva manifests in peace-based powerfulness. Please understand. Neither violence nor powerlessness. Powerlessness is weakness. Violence is abusive. Peace-centered powerfulness. Powerfulness-centered peace. All the Upanishads starts with peace, completes with peace. Shanti mantra starts with Shanti mantra, gets completed with Shanti mantra. Peace-based powerfulness is a fundamental requirement for Paramashivatva to manifest. That is why people who don't want us to manifest Paramashivatva or power manifestation do not want to allow the peace in our life, or do not want peace in our campus. Understand? But only if you are peaceful, which cannot be shaken even by the demons and devils and rakshasas, we can be in eternal peace. So, remember this very clearly. Peace alters the very DNA structure, genetic structure, the core Anu Mahat structure. Understand? Anoraniyan Mahato Mahiyan. The consciousness in you is atom inside the atom, Mahat, more than Mahat. That Anoraniyan Mahato Mahiyan. That consciousness starts growing in you with more and more peace-based powerfulness developing in you. Nothing can be compared to unclutching. Spend more and more time, energy in unclutching. It will never be wasted. Time spent on unclutching is the most productive time for you in your life, because unclutching completely makes you altogether a different material. Understand? It makes your very biomemory, muscle memory, core structure, molecular structure, genetic structure, DNA structure, everything. All the 8 energy flow circuits, 7 energy flows, 1, the pure conscious explosion. So totally 8 energy flow circuits exist in you. All the 8 explodes when you understand. Unclutching is the space of Sri Kailasa. Listen.
Now, let us listen from Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism that every prayer in Hinduism ends with peace and begins with peace.
Every chanting, every prayer in Hinduism ends with Shanti, Shanti, Shanti 3 times. Means peace, peace, peace. Hinduism is the real religion. Loving peace, living peace. Individual level, social level, global level. Understand? Hinduism lasts all its 56 nations, 200 states, 10,000 kingdoms, samsthanas, is not a loss to Hinduism, it is a loss to planet Earth, human beings. Wherever Hinduism is practiced, kept alive, the ideal of global peace is kept alive. Just do this one simple statistics. You yourself study. Google and study. Take the top 10 religions and list how many people they converted in last 200 years, how many people they killed. List for each religion. I can be 200% sure. You yourself will realize Hinduism is the most peace-loving and peace-living religion, neither conversion nor terrorism. Neither conversion nor terrorism. Being the Supreme Pontiff of the most peace-loving, peace-living religion, I give you all my blessings on this International Peace Day. Understand? It is we Hindus need to keep the global peace as a living possibility, and we need to make this global peace as reality. Just talking about global peace will not work. Working for global peace only is the responsibility of the real living Hindu. Anyone who wants to claim themselves as a Hindu or practicing Hindu should work for global peace. Global peace is our responsibility.
Now, the Supreme Pontiff of Hindu says Hindus have the responsibility to bring global peace.
Hindus have the responsibility to bring global peace. So you can also throw a challenge. See, if you are making a Hindu micronation, you can throw this challenge to each one. Your friends, family, 10 people. Let them participate in the challenge and then create. Let them send a challenge to others. So I welcome all the living and practicing Hindus to become founding fathers of Kailasa micronation in your countries. You can also make a challenge, like how they made ice bucket challenge and all that. We can make a challenge. You form Hindu micronation and claim, I am the founding father of the Hindu micronation Kailasa. And then you can invite your family, friends for a challenge. 11 people. You form and you challenge 11 people and they also form and they spread. So let us start spreading. This project is my message on this International Day of Peace. Let us start working for global peace instead of just talking. What the work we do will talk for us. The talk we do will not work for us. This is the message. The work we do will talk for us. The talk we do will not work for us. Global peace is the responsibility of Hindus. We living, practicing Hindus, not only we should achieve the individual peace through unclutching yoga, meditation, we should also create an ecosystem where the global peace starts manifesting. This Kailasa Hindu micronation is the enlightenment ecosystem. I request every living, practicing Hindu to manifest, do it. So the global peace can manifest from these Kailasa Hindu micronations all over the world.
The Kailasa's mission of global peace and superconsciousness breakthrough. The Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism is the founder and spiritual head of Kailasa. The revival of the ancient enlightened Hindu is being revived by displaced Hindus from around the world. The sovereign order of Kailasa, led by the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism and Nithyananda order of monks, nuns, and Hindu diaspora, are working for global peace and to give a super consciousness breakthrough to humanity. It is the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism's mission to recreate a conscious world where the global issues at the climate, economic, social, health, and humanitarian levels cease to exist from their very root, turning the problems of poverty, hunger, violence, discrimination into powerful living through the experience of oneness. The Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism has been working from the very grassroots level to usher in an era of peace at all levels, individual, societal, national, and global. His deep insights into the workings of the human mind-body emotions have enabled him to powerfully and directly address various social and emotional problems facing humanity today. The life solutions based on the ancient Hindu tradition, the meditation and yoga techniques from the scriptures, the cognitions rooted in the highest truths, the lifestyle based on the living and radiating the higher values of life and powerful way of living and realizing one's ultimate potential form the foundation of the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism's teachings, which by their inherent nature provide the foundation for peace on planet Earth. In a short period of public life, he has contributed to humanity in the areas of meditation, healing, health and wellness, yoga, medicine, education, lifestyle, and science and technology. The Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism has been working on creating and teaching people. One, significance of peace and how to achieve it. Second, working for higher consciousness, life and lifestyle. and reducing collective negativity in thought, words, and actions, living in oneness, peaceful coexistence with humanity and nature. Fifth, manifesting superhuman powers for a better quality of life. More than 20 million people in 347 cities in 196 countries over a six continent river and follow the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism. The Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism launched the Minutes for Peace initiative, which aimed to reduce crime globally by conducting mass meditations around the world in parallel. In 2014, just after 2 years of launching the program, it crossed over 1 billion minutes of meditation. Scientific studies have shown a reduced crime rate after participation in the meditation and completion techniques. In 1976, it was found that when 1% of community practiced meditation pujas, the crime rate was reduced by 16% on average. The current tally in the Minutes for Peace website is more than 4.3 billion cumulative minutes of meditation logged, include all the events, programs, and festivals where people have gathered in large numbers and participated in meditations and rituals. The total count comes out to be a staggering 409 billion minutes for peace so far. Kailasa's Minutes for Peace, you can see the pictures here. The about 5,000 devotees gathered and participated in a 45-day meditation program called Shuddhatvaitam. Kailasa's mission of global peace and super consciousness, Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism has hosted Kumbh Mela, United States of America in Los Angeles since 2007. Nithyananda Sangha is entrusted as the only organization to host Kumbh Mela outside India by the Akhila Bharatiya Akhada Parishad. In September 2006, the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism organized the first confluence for the world peace to honor the memory of those who lost their lives saving others on September 11, 2001 at Irvine, California, USA. The second confluence for peace was held in Los Angeles in 2007 in collaboration with Vedanta Society, BAPS, ISKCON, Siddha Yoga, and other organizations. The Kumbh Mela festival spread fast to other countries, including Australia, Canada, etc. Kailasa's mission of global peace and super consciousness breakthrough. In 2009, the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism organized a month-long peace walk covering 1,000 kilometers and 1,000 villages to bring together in harmony from all walks of life, to promote feeling connection and oneness among people. During the walk, health camps were conducted in villages along its path. His Holiness, the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism, has conducted large-scale collective meditations on September 21st, International Peace Day, to raise the collective consciousness and awareness of peace. As part of the Kailasa's mission of global peace and super consciousness breakthrough, Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism has initiated thousands of sannyasis, and sannyas is our social response to save Hinduism and humanity. The Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism has revitalized the monastic tradition of sannyas by initiating hundreds of people into the Nithyananda monastic order. The all-renouncing monks contribute the best things to human civilization, living their life with the cognition that life is for others. These monks and nuns act as harbingers of peace and empowerment for the human society distraught with violence, depression, and other forms of life negativity. The Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism revived the ancient practice of embarking on pilgrimages. The Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism has also revived the ancient practice of embarking on pilgrimages, the spiritual journeys, taking spiritual aspirant to high energy sacred spots such as the Himalayas, Kailas, Varanasi, Angkor Wat, which is in Cambodia, and various powerful temples of India. Even though prevalent in India, this practice is rapidly losing its original context, turning into a recreational family vacation. Reviving the original spiritual context, the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism has made it possible for modern day human beings to benefit from the spiritual energy present of these centers and accelerate their journey of spiritual evolution, hence ensuring individual and collective peace as a natural consequence. Now, let us see the revelations of the world. On 12th May 2021, Devi revealed that I came as Nija Avatar. I am blessing you, listen. People, listen. To do good to all of you, I have taken the form of Nithyananda and came down as Nija Avatar. People of India, listen. Carefully listen. Time after time, Bharatam is Jnana Bhumi, where enlightened beings come, and we cannot make Jnana Bhumi as infertile. Enlightened beings have to come and they have to live. It has to flower. Few hypocrites, because they are stuck in delusion, we cannot sacrifice the world and cosmos cannot be destroyed. The ship I did to save the cosmos from being destroyed is called Adi Kailasa. The ship I did to protect beings from Pralaya in Adi Kailasa because of conspiracy of Drohis and enemies' rule. The captain has to leave the ship. On 12th May 2021, Devi continued to reveal that before 12 years is going to happen, all Aushadas by this Guru Purnima, that Jnana Rasavadam, Navapashana, is going to flower, allow people to come and take dip in Navapashana flower. People, whoever comes and dip in Vaidya Sarovar, they will not have death, they will not have corona. Crores and crores of people will come in line and every day they will come and dip in Ananda Lingam. On 13th May 2021, Devi revealed that, listen well to my words. For India, I made ship as protection. Nithyananda Navapashana Lingam in Vaidya Sarovar. Go to Adi Kailasa, O Indians, listen. All those regretting losing the Nithyananda Nija Avatara without confusion and without talking just as lip service, go to Adi Kailasa. On 13th May 2021, Devi continued to reveal that crores of people will come there looking for health, Navapashana water feast and medicine, to get health and protection and enlightenment. To protect India from the great destruction, I, Parashakti, made this huge ship. Even if captain is not there, ship is there. On 14th May 2021, Devi revealed that whoever comes to Adi Kailasa and does the good work of saving people from deadly corona, I myself will do all their life's work. This is a commitment Paramashakti is giving you all. Parameshwari, I will do what I say. On 19th May 2021, Devi revealed that to save people from corona, I have set up a huge ship, Ananda Sarovar, Vaidya Sarovar, and Ananda Lingam. I have made it in Adi Kailasa. Go there, take water every day, worship Ananda Lingam, water, turmeric, milk, and neem rasam showered on Navapashanam are the medicines for this. On 19th May 2021, Devi revealed that the doors of Adi Kailasa will be open for all those who will come with trust. It will protect. It will protect body and will give conscious health. It will also give highest powers, dharma, artha, kama, moksha, jnana, powers, and the God beyond kama, Adi Kailasa life will give all goodness. On 11th June 2021, Devi revealed that drop the foolish mind with the business motive of bargaining and attain surrender and go to Adi Kailasa, be in Adi Kailasa, I will do good to you. On 18th June 2021, Devi revealed that for saving your life, go to Adi Kailasa, best life is there. Before Corona takes your life away, go to Adi Kailasa and save your life. On 5th July 2021, Devi revealed that the soil of Adi Kailasa is the Sarva Roga Nivarini, that means cure for all diseases. For all the diseases in the world, Paramashakti, myself taking the form of Nithyananda as Nija Avatara, walking there barefoot for many years, manifesting all powers, the very soil was converted into great medicine that solves all karmas. On 5th July 2021, Devi revealed that taking the soil of Adi Kailas and mixing it with the water of Navapashana Linga of Vaidyasarovar, and by applying it, all pains will vanish. Breaking the attachment to body, it will make you enlightened. Goodness is there. I told the truth. Go to Adi Kailasa. When the first world countries closed their borders during a massive global emergency, Kailasa has opened its doors to all without exception. Now, the various COVID care centers open across India are Adi Kailasa, Enbadi, Bangalore, Salem Adhinam, Tirunamalai, Rajapalam, Puduvai, Pattanam, Srirangapadi, Sripuram, Madurai, Avatipalam, Huzur, and Baroda, mainly in Tamil Nadu, Hyderabad, and Gujarat and Pondicherry. Kailasa rushes to aid India as India finds itself on the verge of COVID-19, the third wave. Multiple free COVID care centers open across India. Various social services offered during pandemic in Kailasa's de facto spiritual embassies across India. Cosmic revelations on global pandemic. Free social services offered during the pandemic on de facto spiritual embassies across India are medical care, which includes allopathy, Ayurvedic, and Siddha medicine, infrastructure to accommodate thousands, accommodation for multi-layered quarantine, emergency ambulances, which is ICU on wheels, personal protective medical equipment, food security management through food banks, and organic farming. So join the COVID care protection centers. Register now through the link below, https://kailasa.org/kailasa care. The link again, registration link to join the COVID care protection centers, https://kailasa.org/kailasa care. Now, the Kailasa's COVID care protection centers are mainly the temple-based ecosystems, where the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism worked over 27 plus years tirelessly to establish these temple-based ecosystems. And these temple-based ecosystems not only add to everyone to joy, peace, and bliss, and also the super consciousness breakthrough. And these Kailasa's de facto spiritual embassies are now COVID centers. Now let us understand the basics of why temple-based ecosystems. What is the temple sciences?
Little about this particular Meenakshi temple. Please tell us who is Devi Meenakshi and her husband. Why this grand temple? What are the visible and invisible functions of this temple? Please tell us, Swamiji.
Read the next question also. Both.
As we see in our present time, towers of mobile, TV or dish TV antennas everywhere connecting invisibility to satellites, doing an incredible function for individuals and for society. My question is, there is and was everywhere temples and deities in this culture. Anybody coming from outside just wonder, is this just sentimental carved stones, worshipping culture or just artistic sculpture? What is the invisible function of temples, deities?
See, both questions. Sir, that is the reason I wanted to answer both the questions together. Modern day dish TVs, antennas, mobile towers, all of them work in the level of certain frequency where the words, pictures, visuals can be transmitted. See, the verbalization and visualization, names and forms can be transmitted from one place to another place through these mobile towers, dish TV antennas. But the temple towers are created to transmit super consciousness from one place to another place. Please understand, in Meenakshi's time there was television, conscious television. It used to be in stone slab, and if you just sit in front of that stone TV, meditate, connect with Meenakshi, she will appear live and answer whatever you want. So each of the stone slabs only slowly later on became deities. You can see in our temples this happening. The TVs in which I am appearing and speaking are slowly becoming deities. They are receiving worship. Flowers are offered to it. Aarti is done to it. Incense is given to it. Now, all our temples are planning to have a separate throne for this TV. In Los Angeles, already I am on the throne. The TV is in the throne. The TV, in which people are seeing me, have already become deity. Same way, please understand, the stones through which people were able to connect with the super consciousness have become deities. Same way, all our deities, everything is a connecting mechanism with super consciousness. The mechanism which connects with the super consciousness. Please understand, the deities and temples are not just sentimental carved stones, or they are not just artistic sculptures. They are conscious transmitters. They raise you to the super consciousness. In each house in Vedic tradition, we have a puja room. All the puja rooms are your private conscious airport, are conscious transmission centers. The main temple is a place from where continuous super consciousness is radiating. So if you just sit and connect with a deep feeling connection, see, in those days human beings were so beautiful and simple. Just remembering the name of the deity is enough. They are already in connection with the deity. that feeling connection. When I read Patanjali's Yoga Sutra, it says, sit in Siddhasana and be in Samadhi. That's all. So the human beings were so simple in those days. Just if you sit in Siddhasana, you are already in Samadhi. If you sit, your mind sits. Now, if you sit, your mind shits. Mind is completely away from the body. In those days, human beings are so simple and intelligent. All the non-mechanical parts of their brain were awakened. It is Western culture which killed the non-mechanical parts of the brain, the functions of the non-mechanical parts of the brain. Please understand, in the Vedic civilization, always human beings were brought up in such a way that non-mechanical parts of the brain was fully alive and awakened. It is a cultural invasion, destroyed the greatest possibility of the human being when the non-mechanical parts of the brain is not functioning anymore. The temples, deities, all these are looking useless. Otherwise, they are a huge conscious infrastructure. Please understand. So, an example, suddenly, if we find some method to travel just 20 feet above the air or 30 feet above the air without petrol or diesel, all our automobiles, roads, everything will become useless. Then you will wonder, why so many automobile industries are established? Why so many cars are produced? Why this huge road waste? I think our ancestors are fools. You don't understand. At one period, it was used. It was being useful. Our temples, our deities, all these are useful if all your non-mechanical parts of the brain is awakened. Unclutching is the process to awaken your non-mechanical parts of the brain. When your non-mechanical parts of the brain is awakened, you will understand temples, deities, how useful they are, how directly useful they are, how they are part of our life, how they enrich our life, and how they make human beings intelligent, enlightened. These are the methods created to create enlightened civilization. These grand temples are not built as an just monument. They are built as a conscious movement. It is not like Egyptian pyramids, monuments. No. It is conscious movement to raise human beings to the highest consciousness, to make human beings experience the highest purpose. Understand, unclutch, use the temples to achieve the highest consciousness.
Paramahamsa Nithyananda, a rare living incarnation.
Now, let us listen from the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism that deities hold energy which lands when doing the prana pratishtha, the consecration of the deities.
Actually, after the great pass, I wanted to do this Kumbhabhishekam, and then the Shivacharyas have advised us that only after the Uttrayanam, Uttrayana Punyakala means after the Uttrayana starts, we are having a good date, Uttamottama date for Kumbhabhishekam. So that's the reason we waited. And see, fundamentally, deity intensely receives the energy like a lightning and holds it and manifests continuously for the whole humanity. You see, it's like if I have to talk to you in a normal social language, it's like a lightning holder. See, I can get into the Samadhi, one with Paramashiva, and bring the whole thing to planet Earth. But the deity should be able to hold it and manifest it, radiate it for the humanity. So that is the reason the beautiful, dense, most dense granite deity is made. The earlier, the Avudayar we made, too much of power manifestation, it has given crack in multiple places. I don't know how you guys will be able to believe. Maybe I'll tell them to show the video. Such dense granite cracks to pieces and so carefully maintained with so much of all the Abhishek. Crack is the last thing you can imagine in so many places that earlier Avudayar has had, and that's the reason we made the new deity with more dense granite now. More dense granite, the deity is done, so it can withstand the power manifestation and hold the power for quite a long time. Maybe at least next 12 years it can hold. And before that I'm planning for the different level of granite for Avudayar. I wanted to teleport from the other planets where the 100 times more dense than planet Earth's granite is available. And anyhow, all that I'll do it and then show, and instead of giving material for trolls, I'll give information after everything is achieved, after everything is done.
Reviving the enlightened civilization is the vision of Kailasa, the purpose of my advent, Paramashiva assuming this body and manifesting, says the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism. Basically, an enlightened civilization where everything happens based on the ultimate cosmic principle and ultimate possibilities and powerfulness. You want to know about the universe, just they will show you the universe and teach you. and you want to know about the cosmos, they will just show you the cosmos and simple, straightforward. And in Sanatana Hindu Dharma, we had at least 10,000 sampradayas, religions, spiritual traditions, keeping this enlightenment science alive. And each Hindu sampradaya is a spiritual ecosystem created for keeping enlightenment science alive. Every monastery, every adhinam, every mutt, every temple, every Veda Patashala, every Sarvajna Pita is a lineage sampradaya created to keep the ecosystem of spiritual enlightenment alive. Some may be Shakta, some may be Yoga, some may be Vedanta, some may be Tantra, some may be Yoga Vedanta, some may be Yoga Shaiva, some may be Vaidika Shaiva, all kinds of permutation and combination. Each temple, each mutt, each monastery, each adhinam, each Veda Patashala, each Sannyasa Sampradaya is a spiritual ecosystem created to keep the enlightenment science alive of that Sampradaya. Hindu temples are not just worship altars or religious congregation places or just memorial. Hindu temples are not just worship altars or religious congregation place or just memorials or incident. Hindu temples are residences of God. There was a time in Hinduism, they had 56 nations, 200 states, and 1,700 provinces, and 10,000 sampradayas. Almost 95% of the population were Hindus. Slowly, that brutal terrorists invading, life negative gangs enter, destroy, rob, plunder the temple, destroy the spiritual ecosystem, the enlightenment ecosystem. In last 10,000 years, in last 1,000 years, we did not have a single nation, we did not have a single state, we did not have a single province protecting Hinduism as a state religion legitimately. And in 10,000 sampradayas, without any doubt, I will say only 200 are left alive, struggling to be alive. So Kailasa is a place where everything related to super consciousness is revived. All the sampradayas, all the spiritual ecosystems created for enlightenment will be revived and established in such a way that it never gets lost again, and they are there forever serving the humanity. The enlightenment ecosystem are the Kailas. Like every monastery, temple is an ecosystem for keeping the enlightenment science alive and flourish, which can automatically make people enlightened. It is like enlightenment automatic machinery. Anybody comes in, they just get introduced, inspired, excited, energized, and made to power manifest status, enlightened, and start radiating, and they start spreading. Enlightenment becomes the source for energy and excitement. A person who can make enlightenment as a source for energy and excitement for anyone is an incarnation. Fortunately, we are successful in making enlightenment as the source for energy and excitement to millions of people all over the world. This whole Kailasa is a revival of that enlightened civilization. A temple is a place where an intense cosmic energy is available for everyone to experience. Significantly, all the major Vedic temples built over the centuries have been consecrated by enlightened masters, or rather, the temple has grown around the intense energy field established by an enlightened master for the benefit of humankind. Just as a rich man leaves behind his wealth for the next generation, after he leaves the body, enlightened masters leave behind the huge energy that they bring with them in the form of temples. For example, the 4 main Shankara Pitams were established by the 8th century master Adi Shankara, the Chidambaram temple by Patanjali, and the Palani temple by the Siddha Bhogar, the Arunachaleshwara temple by the Saint Idayikadar, and Tirupati by Konga Navar, and Tanjore by Kuruvarur. The powerful spiritual vibrations present in these places are so palpable that even the most casual visitor can feel its effects in the form of peace, bliss, or clarity. When maintained properly, using the subtle powers of mantras, rituals, and meditation, temples can hold and radiate this precious energy for thousands of years. Temples are designed as energy centers, energized by the great enlightened masters to radiate, and the enlightened masters present even when they leave their body. Temples are found deliberately at a place where the positive energy is available abundantly from the magnetic and electric wave conveyances of North and South Pole push. The idol of God is set in the core center of the temple, known as Garbhagruha Sanctum Sanctorium. This is the area where the Earth magnetic field is discovered to be the most extreme. Therefore, it is the energy source. The Dvajastambha, the flagpole, behaves as a transformer. The huge domes are for amplifying the energy. Temples were systematically built for the transmission of energy on a large scale. So, by establishing temples across the world, the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism contributed to the global peace by transforming each individual by establishing these temple ecosystems. These ecosystems are across continents, and they are Kailasa's de facto spiritual. Now adding to Kailasa's COVID care protection centers. Join these Kailasa's COVID care protection centers. Register now through the link below, https://kailasa.org/Kailasa care. Now we'll move on to the next segment of this program after a short break.
Nithyanandam, Jnanapatati Manual, under the guidance of Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism, Jagadguru Mahasannidhanam, His Divine Holiness, Bhagwan Nithyananda Paramashivam. Let's start with the Sadguru Vandanam. Nithyanandam Paramasukhanam Kevalam Jnanamurtim Dvandvatitam Gaganasadasham Tattvamasya Lakshmam Ekam Nityam Vimalamachalam Sarvadi Sakshi Bhutam Bhavatitam Trigunarahitam Sadgurum Tam Namami. Let's go through the disclaimers. Security measures. No photography, video, audio recording. Important cautions. Vimalamachalam Sarvadi Sakshi Bhutam Bhavatitam Trigunarahitam Sadgurum Tam Namami. Let's go through the disclaimers.